So all of you have just been through a pretty intense learning experience. And so this is critical to us understanding more about learning agility, because people who are learning agile are people who really excel and they have a great willingness and ability to learn from their experiences. But before we get into the depths of that, I want to talk to you a little bit more about the specific role that experience plays in helping to shape and develop us as leaders. This is something that the Center for Creative Leadership has actually been focused on for well over 30 years. For those decades, we've been touching base with leaders all over the world to really help understand how is it that you got here. And we very quickly came to one conclusion, is that leaders are not born, they are definitely made. And how they are made is through their experiences. So breaking it down a little bit more specifically, we found that sort of at the top of the pyramid there, roughly about 10% of our learning comes from more formal experiences like we're engaged in right now. But that's relatively little. You know, it gets us kind of the fundamentals and the basics. And then another 20% of our learning comes from our interactions with other key people in our lives, mentors, coworkers, family, bosses, including both good bosses and bad bosses. Believe it or not, we actually learn more from bad bosses than we do from good bosses. So the next time you pass that bad boss in the hall, just make sure to give them a good thank you. So, but where the real meat of our learning comes from, where it really all comes together, is through the experiences we have on the job every day, and particularly those experiences that really take us out of our comfort zone, that are new, that are challenging in nature. That's where roughly fully 70% of our development as leaders comes from those types of experiences. Also, learning falls into different buckets. Through this 3 decades of research that we've done, we found that pretty much any experience you have can fall into one of 15 buckets. And the more that you are able to rack up experiences in those different buckets that are also high in quality, then you're really getting somewhere. And so there's 3 in particular that I want to highlight here, and they're a particular category of experience that we call hardships. So those are the ones, they each have a kind of, they stand out visually as well too: crisis, mistake, and career setback. Unlike the other categories of experiences, these aren't ones that we go and deliberately seek out, but they will inevitably in our careers find us. And so when they do, we have a moment of decision to make as to whether we want to embrace that experience for what it can teach us, or whether we want to kind of push it under the rug, find blame elsewhere, just kind of put it behind you. But when we face those experiences head on and embrace them, that's really where some of our most profound, powerful, and lasting learnings can take place. But it can be difficult, because if we live in a culture, in an organizational culture, where failure is looked upon as a bad thing and is punished or kind of, you know, put to the side, it can rob us of those experiences to learn from those hardships. So that's something I want you to keep in mind as you walk away from today. When you face those difficult moments in your life, as unpleasant as they are in the present, they really are a gift to you. And so if you're able to work past the pain of the experience and reflect and really see what you can take away and learn from that, you will be thankful for that in the end.